Hello sweet friends, my name is Angie and welcome to the Bumblebee Farmhouse, a place where I hope that you can find a little bit of inspiration to make your house a home sweet home. I will be baking some cheddar and scallion Irish soda bread. It won't be the traditional Irish soda bread that I'm used to making, which is usually made with like raisins and currants. So this one will be made with cheddar and scallion, and so I'm going to be baking some loaves of Irish soda bread. And it's not time for spring here yet, as much as I want it and as much spring fever as I have. And I'll tell you guys this right now, I am so ready for spring, but it is not here yet and we're still in, winter. It's the end of February going into the beginning of March. So we just literally had an ice storm here. Last week we had another snowstorm. I feel like once a week now we're getting just a blast of winter, and then we'll have a few nice days. So I'm taking vitamin D3 for my immune system, but it's also good for your bones and your teeth. But especially now we're not getting a lot of sun in the winter because it's still winter. So I do take this about 3 or 4 times a week because this is the 10,000 IU. It's a high dose. I am taking biotin for my hair. I've mentioned it in a previous video where my hair was kind of like thinning out under here. I have noticed new growth, so I don't know if it's the biotin, but I also switched out our pillowcases because I read somewhere that regular pillowcases, and I do sleep on this side, can cause your hair to thin. So I did switch pillowcases and I got satin pillowcases. So they feel silky and they're more like they slide more, so you're not getting like friction on your scalp. So I think that's definitely helped. And then I am finishing up this elderberry, black elderberry, for immune support. I'm hoping to, knock on wood, not catch anything. So I'm going to start out my day by making a list. There is so much housework that I need to catch up on. It's not that I've been slacking, it's just that we've been busy. Today, on top of everything, we also listed our old SUV for sale, and then I listed some furniture for sale as well because I'm trying to slowly declutter my home of things we're not using or needing. So we've been busy doing that and just rearranging our home to make it work for us. I've also been repurposing spaces in our home, and I'll probably do a video on it soon, but I want to let you guys know that we did add a pantry in our home by taking out a foyer closet, so I'm sure I'll show some footage of that in the near future. And then I turned one of the spare bedrooms actually into a walk-in closet. I call it my woman room or my beauty room, but I think repurposing different parts of the home can be really good, and it almost feels like a refresh. So believe it or not, I've said that baking can be therapy to me, and today was one of those days where I just wanted to bake some bread. So I'm making this cheddar, and the recipe is cheddar and chive, but I didn't have chive, so I made cheddar and green onion scallion Irish soda bread, and it's savory and delicious. And it's not your traditional, but I thought I would go ahead and put on my apron and get my hands dirty in the kitchen because I wanted to make some homemade bread, and I think I'm going to start slowly baking and freezing. So the bread that I made here today, I froze it, and I love just taking it out of the freezer and just defrosting it and popping it in the oven on a night that we want some fresher bread with our meal. I'm trying to get back to the basics in life. Basic homemaking, cooking, chores. I'm trying to be really grounded in just the everyday mundane things in life. I'm trying not to focus on material things as much, and even though I have lots of wonderful things, I'm trying to find the joy in things that don't cost me to go out and spend a lot of money. So baking is definitely a form of therapy for me. I love it, and I love love delivering fresh goodies to family and friends, and it's always such a treat. And that way I don't have to have it all in the house and eat it all, but I do love baking, and I think that's one way of enjoying homemaking that doesn't really cost much, and I think it's really good for the mind because it gives me a lot of time to think and reflect about things. And as the seasons are about to change, I think about how life changes in those seasons as well. And I've been thinking a lot lately about friendships and how they can come and go in life and how they change throughout the seasons, and it just depends on what season you are in life. And I've been thinking about spring and how things are going to bloom in full force, and I think about relationships in that sense too. And I just think about how friendships come and go, and it's funny how some people just drift out of your life. And it's like you're close with someone for a while, and then one day you realize you haven't talked to them in months. I have a few friendships like this, and I often wonder what will become of the friendship. And it's like you don't even realize it's happening until that friendship is over. And then there's friends who stick with you throughout everything. And those are the ones that you know will always be there no matter what. But even with those friends, things can change, and people grow apart and they change over time. And sometimes it just happens, you just grow apart. It doesn't mean that the friendship wasn't important though. I think it's just a natural part of life, and sometimes those friends come back into your life when you would least expect it. And it's true, it's like they were meant to be there at a specific time in your life for a specific purpose and reason. Nobody knows why, only God can tell you why. And then you realize that even though you might not talk to your friends every day, the friendship is still there. And it's like this connection that will never go away. And that's why it's important to cherish the friendships that you have, even if they do come and go. In the end, those friendships shape who we are and the memories we carry with us. And that's something to be extremely grateful for. And sometimes a connection will happen right away, and you can talk to somebody just for a few hours or a few months or a few weeks, and you feel like you've known them a lifetime. And I always think it's so much harder to make friendships and relationships as an adult. Because when you're an adult, you're in your own space and your own peace of mind, and you're not really in a setting as if you were a child in school and you were forced to be with certain peers and it, would happen naturally. But when you're an adult, I feel like relationships and friendships are much harder to make and maintain, as everybody is always so very busy. So when someone is truly kind to me and they show interest in me and my life and where I am in life, and they check up on me and make sure I'm doing good, I don't take those friendships for granted. I think that those things are very truly special, and especially when you're an adult, it's hard to find somebody who can make the time to care for you. We are all so very busy, and we lead very, very busy lives, but sometimes a phone call, a text, or an email can really lighten up someone's day.
Oh, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Most of my life's been waging war till I found peace. I could've swore what she did shook me to the core, and I ain't gonna live like that no more. Well, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Trouble comes when the barmaid pours another for a man who should have found the door. Oh, when I get going, you can hear me roar. And you know I can't live like this no more. Oh, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Hurting is bad.
So I actually made 2 loaves of this bread. So you'll see me forming 2 loaves to bake off into the oven. And once I get them formed into a ball, I'm going to take a knife and score the top before I go ahead and bake them off. Alright, now let me see how long I need to bake this for.
Oh, I ain't gonna live like this no more. I've been drinking till my body's sore. Ain't touched my bed, just sleep on. I'ma get on
Into the oven.
chores, get some things from
30 minutes.
shore. This old ship's coming back to shore, 'cause I ain't gonna live like this no more.
Show me what it's like to be circling among the clouds. Because without you by my side, I would be stuck here on the ground. You're lighting up the way, I can see the road ahead of me. I won't be stumbling in the dark.
It's been resting for like 40 minutes. Still steaming.
Still steaming.
Freeze the other half and the other loaf. Beautiful bread with some fresh zeal butter. It's a higher fat, very farmy butter. It's still steaming and it's been sitting.
Ready?
No. I'm not ready. You gotta wait for me. Hold on.
No.
Gotta wait.
Ow. That's good.
Just eat without me.
I can.
Cheers. That is good. Okay. Freeze this. I can't have this sitting out. So this is Irish soda bread, but it's not a traditional Irish soda bread where you would have currants or raisins with caraway seeds. It's a buttermilk Irish soda bread, but instead of making it sweeter with sugar, I made it savory with shredded cheddar and scallions, and it's really good. Yeah, maybe we go with olives next time.
With anything.
Olives and herbs. It's good. I'm gonna pack this up and freeze it.
Yeah. For my lunch.
I won't eat food, I'll just eat this, so.
One more slice.
This is hearty. Savory piece of homemade bread. It's so good. I'll link the recipe. That was delicious.
You can take me high.